Hi, my name is Sasha Kawaii Cat, and today I will be doing the 10 art style challenge. For those of you who have never heard of this challenge, you basically just draw your character in your art style and then draw the same character in 9 different art styles. For this challenge, I've chosen several art styles from cartoons that inspired my own art style and shows that I really enjoyed watching growing up. I also chose animated shows with art styles that I really like or find interesting. Some of them are a bit simple but still really appealing and nice to look at. The character we'll be drawing today is my persona, mostly because it's one of the most interesting designs that I have and I put a lot of thought into this design. Now, because I have never done this challenge before, I did watch some videos by some art YouTubers that I really like, who have also done this challenge, and 2 of them really helped me a lot. There's one by Mepity, whose art style is just really lovely, and one by ABD Illustrates, who is also a really great artist. And they both really got the art style they chose pretty accurately, and I picked up a few things that I apply to my own approach to this challenge, mostly as it relates to the use of brushes. The first art style is my art style, of course. My art style, I feel like, is a mix between anime and cartoons, but mostly cartoons, I think, because while I was developing my style, I do remember really being influenced a lot by shows like Bee and PuppyCat and Steven Universe. I'm really not sure if you guys will be able to tell though, because honestly, while I was drawing all the other styles, I really noticed how very different they were from my own style, even the ones that I thought were pretty similar. For stuff like the coloring, you can see I get rid of the flat colors when I'm ready to add the shading, and I do this because for me personally, it feels easier to get the placement of the shadows right, and I can really see clearly what I'm doing. It's just something that personally works for me. But overall, the first drawing I thought turned out pretty well. I felt a bit rusty at first because I hadn't drawn anything in a while. I really didn't feel confident about it, but once I added the color, it really started to look really good to me, and I was happy with the way it turned out. The next art style is Bob's Burgers. For the design, I chose a lot of black or PSD characters as my reference. You'll notice some characters in this style have noticeable lips and some don't. I gave her the outline on her lips because I think it's something that mostly appears on characters that wears lipstick, and my persona is wearing lipstick, so I thought it would apply there. You'll notice the poses change a bit. I tried to keep them similar, but the original pose just didn't work for all the different art styles. But anyway, I do really like how this one turned out. Next up, we have Bee and PuppyCat. I chose this art style because, as I mentioned earlier in the video, Bee and PuppyCat is one of those shows that really influenced my art style. Though I have to admit, while I was drawing this, it didn't really feel like it. But I am very much in love with the art style of the show, and really just the show's creator. Her art style is just very lovely, and the comic books in particular for Bee and PuppyCat are just really fun. For this style, I made her kind of thicker. That's something you'll notice as well. The body type is going to change a bit depending on the art style. I basically used the character Bee as my main reference, and she's also a bit curvy. This one was a bit more simple but cute. I was a bit worried about the eyes, but once I added the color in, it looked okay. Next we have Adventure Time. Here's another art style I chose more because I just really enjoyed the show, but I do also like the art style as well. It's also a very simple and very cute, appealing to look at style. I don't have much to add about this style other than I did have fun drawing in it. Also, you'll notice as I draw, the caps on her sleeves keep changing. That's because for some of these drawings, initially I wanted to draw the cats based on how they would look in the show's art style. I really just didn't have time to find various cats designs for all these shows. But anyway, here's the Adventure Time design. Next up, Star vs. The Forces of Evil. I used to love this show, I was so invested in it, but then it got real boring real fast with all the romance stuff, and oh boy was that finale horrible. But I still really like the style of the show. Mostly I find the designs of a lot of the characters to be interesting, particularly the magical characters. As for the drawing process, mostly I wanted to use characters with curly hair, so I chose Marco's mom as my main reference, but overall the first sketch just didn't look right to me, so I ended up doing another sketch based more on Star's design. Because I wanted the art style to be recognizable, and the easiest way I think to do that is to base a lot of the elements of your design on the main character. I like how this one turned out, but I do wish I had gone back and changed the designs of the cats on her sleeves. Next up is Total Drama Island. I like this show, but really I love the spin-off Total Drama The Redonkulous Brace. As for the art style, the lines are so straight and sharp and thick and just so different from my own art style, and I actually really liked it. For my references, I used mostly black characters so I could see how they draw certain features, like her nose for example. And overall, I think I did a pretty good job. I had to make a brush for this art style, but honestly it wasn't too difficult. I do think I should have spent more time making the brush, however, but I think the style is pretty accurate, and most importantly, I do really love how this one turned out. The next art style is from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. I didn't really like this style initially, but once the drawing was finished, I did end up liking how it turned out. At first it kind of reminded me of my own art style, but the more I drew her, the more I realized that wasn't really the case. However, I did enjoy drawing my persona in this style. I made this really nice brush that was fun to use, and by the end of it, I really found myself liking the sort of anime feel that the art style has to it. Next we have Kim Possible. I really loved this show growing up, and I think it had one of the best theme songs ever. The designs I don't think I paid that much attention to, but while I was drawing, I really noticed the flow of the lines. I don't know how to describe it. It's a lot of curves and waves, I guess. It's just really nice. The design ended up being a mix between Kim and Shigo and whatever POC characters I could find. And initially I wasn't so sure, but like a few others, I really liked it once I added the color in. Up next is Gravity Falls. I can't say I really like this art style, and I think it's because I just couldn't find a lot of references that I liked, or maybe I just didn't look hard enough, but overall the body didn't feel right, the hair didn't feel right, and something about these types of cartoony eyes just doesn't feel right to me. But I will say again, once I colored it in, it did look much better. And I didn't feel so bad about it. The art style isn't bad or unappealing, I just didn't particularly like drawing in it. But I do love the show, and I do think in the end the drawing did turn out okay. Last we have Steven Universe. I love this show so much, which is why it's so disappointing this drawing didn't turn out better. Initially, I did a bunch of sketches working out different body types, amethyst, rose, even garnet, and I had settled on a more garnet type body, but then I decided no, I want her to look more human because she's a human, but I don't know, she turned out very basic and I wasn't really happy with the results, but I really do love Steven Universe's art style overall. But somehow I failed at it. I think I was just really surprised by how different my style really is from the show, even though it inspired me so much. I'm not mad at the finished design, but I am disappointed in myself because I do think it could have been much better. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. I really did enjoy doing all these designs, and I think most of them still turned out pretty well. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider becoming a patron. You'll have early access to speed paint videos. All the process steps for the art in this video will be uploaded there, line art, sketches, and of course the full HD pieces. And as a special reward, you can even get your name featured in the end of my videos. So please check it out. The link is below in the description.